Hi and welcome. I felt called to do a reading just now, specifically. Sometimes the downloads come and it still needs to be pieced together, and sometimes it hits and it doesn't quite make sense, but Spirit says do the reading. And then it makes sense as the reading goes along. So, over Taurus season, I didn't do a lot of readings online because I felt like what was coming to me was that Taurus is an earth sign, and Taurus season, during that time, we were meant to deal with a lot of practical and 3D things. Like if you weren't feeling well physically, you needed to deal with your body. You needed to get more rest, you needed to stretch, you needed to exercise, you needed to detox, you needed to focus on your body. Even if it's not feeling sick, it was just noticing yourself more, giving yourself more attention, maybe changing the way you dress, or something about your physical self. Or that could have been you needed to deal with life admin like insurance, or renewing your car license, or stuff like that. Or within your home, you needed to deal with your routines with your family, or how things are done, who washes the dishes, what time do you have supper, do you have family time, maybe rearrange your home. There were very 3D practical things in Taurus season that needed our attention. Now Gemini season, I'm starting to have this love-hate relationship with Gemini season, because I feel like I really love Gemini season because what it brings up is Gemini is the lovers in tarot, right? It's the twins. Let me find this deck. Just a second. Gemini is an air sign, so it can be very mental, and it's right at the bottom of the deck, the card I was looking for. So Gemini season is about seeing both sides of the coin, and this can be about yourself, about the world, about people around you. It's about seeing the light aspect and the shadow aspect, and that the shadow aspect can be a bad thing or a good thing, and the light aspect can be a bad thing or a good thing. Like if you are a person that's really nice and really sweet, people might like you for that, but there's a flip side to it where you might be suppressing the fiery aspect of who you are, or you might get the short end of the stick because you're so nice, so people might take advantage of that, or you might use your niceness in a negative way, play on people's emotions or be selfish. Like there's the light side has a good, there's the polar opposites, and then each of those polar opposites have contrasting elements. Right? So I love getting into the deep dark stuff, because you can find the light through that. You find your own inner light, but it's also it almost messes with you a little bit, because you can question yourself or question others. What is their intentions? I feel like in Gemini season you need to be a little bit more careful, or aware of how is this person moving and why are they moving that way. Like other people in my life for good reasons or bad reasons, because they have to be, because they need to be, because they want to be, and cancel culture will make us try and cancel everybody. Not all relationships are meant to be cancelled, and not all of them are so toxic that they can't be healed, right? And this type of season helps us to establish, like, I have been working at this job for 10 years and it's never been good. it's never gotten better, or it's not gotten better for me. And even when it was good, or when it is good, it's good because I make it good. And if you are the one maintaining even a relationship, the goodness, maintaining that relationship, and it's only because of your compassion, your understanding, your giving nature, that this thing is still staying afloat, eventually it's going to get to you in some way. And so during this time, we really need to evaluate what we think, how we see things, how we are seen, the distortions, and to be able to communicate about it so that it can make more sense. Once you start speaking, once you start writing, just like what I was saying about the readings, once I start doing the reading, then things start clicking, or I don't even, I'm not making the connections on a conscious level, it's on a subconscious level, and then, it manifests, it comes out. So yeah, that wanted to be said about Gemini season. And this is another thing that was coming out, stepping out of your comfort zone. And this also takes a little bit of discernment, and it takes discernment and intuition. Like, our ego wants to keep us safe, right? And sometimes your ego, or those alarm bells and spidey senses that goes off that says something is not right here, sometimes we need to trust that. But sometimes it's just our ego being afraid, or our inner child being afraid of stepping into a new version of ourselves, into a new space of leveling up, of attracting good things, having good things, enjoying good things, about knowing that you are a good person. The subconscious programming, all the teachers that told you would amount to nothing, or the bullies that made you feel small, those voices come up and make you want to stay in places that you've outgrown. And during the time when you are processing all of this, it's almost like the good things will look bad and the bad things will look good, and you have to figure out. But usually, like, we've had a new moon yesterday when I'm recording this, and a 6/6 portal. I feel like coming through that portal now, everything feels a lot less confusing and double-sided, like seeing the devil and the devil looks good, or proverbial devil, or seeing the good things and thinking it's good, but then it's not. I feel like during Gemini season, you can have people that you haven't spoken to in a while, or just weird random people pop up and try to communicate with you, and you don't always have to answer the call. I'm getting that. You don't always have to answer the call. Or if, somebody comes up to you and, in a sneaky way, they're trying to start shit, or they're trying to dig for something, or, they're trying to get under your skin, you don't have to engage. It's for you to be aware of it and say, okay, I see you. And then you can choose. Sometimes there's a part of us that wants to say, I'm going to cut this person down to size and show them what they're doing is not okay. And sometimes the best road is to just, you're better than that, you don't have to engage. And neither is right or wrong. And at different points in times, different approaches are necessary. Sometimes you have to speak. Like this card says, communication is key. But how you communicate is the thing. Like, we can always grow in how we communicate so that we are more effective with our communication. Like, if you are always yelling and shouting to be heard and you're not heard, then you need to try a different approach. If you are always trying to work things out and speak things through, then maybe you do need to step back and let people find out on their own what is what. So Karma with the Chaos Sea Storm, number 32 card came out. There's something about storms and rain. Bringing change. I feel like some people are very comfortable with being in the emotional depths. or get very emotional. And maybe whatever things that you've had to face, your emotions are not bad, they're good. But some people are good with their emotions but not good with expressing it. So maybe that might have been something that you need to bring your awareness to through this past season, or whenever you find this, is that you might need to find a way to express your emotions so that there's not a storm raging within you all the time, because your emotions are not expressed or dealt with or acknowledged, right? Or if you're someone that's always very mental and logical and you don't really deal with your emotions or feel your feels, then that's something that you would have needed to deal with or become aware of. Let's get one more card from the Oracle of Shadows and Light, and then I'll get some tarot. That one. Violet Angel Breaking Dawn. Like I said, all of a sudden after the 6-6 portal, that intensity might suddenly feel like it's subsiding. You might have felt like you've reached the limit of something in your life, like this cannot continue anymore, I'm so over this, I'm so done with this, and now the sun is coming out to shine after the storm, right? You might wanna, if this really made you feel angry or sad, or a difficult emotion that was hard to process, you might want to use rose quartz to soften your energy again. If you needed to get into a very cold or direct or harsh energy to deal with certain things, you now need to soften and give yourself a little bit more love. I think I actually have a rose quartz in my pocket. This morning I felt like I needed to pick the rose quartz up, but I can't find it. Let's see if I've got one. Yeah, I've got two on my desk. So you might want to work with rose quartz. You want to balance your energies, your masculine and your feminine energy. That's also what this Gemini season is about. Masculine and feminine energy, yin and yang. You will get exhausted if you are always in your masculine energy around people or in situations in a workspace where you always have to be in your masculine energy. You always have to handle things, you always have to get things done, you always have to be the protector and the provider. You will get exhausted. You need to balance that out by being able to tap into your feminine energy, whether you are a man or a woman, and maybe do something creative or pamper yourself or spoil yourself, nurture yourself, or someone else doing that if you're always the one doing that for others. Maybe you're a mother and you're always in your feminine energy, but you're not necessarily mothering and nurturing yourself, then you need to do that for yourself. Or if you do nurture yourself, but other people in your relationships don't know how to show affection and kindness and softness, if you we all are the way we are because we needed to be that way at a certain point, but that doesn't mean that is the only part of our identity that exists, that you always have to be the provider and the protector. Sometimes you need to be provided for and protected, and not because you can't or because you're not capable, but because life requires balance. And when you have to step into a vulnerable space or a softer space, you give others the opportunity to show up. And there are those that won't. There are those that won't be able to take down their armor and say, okay, I'm going to be nurturing, or I'm going to be soft. Some people can't. But then you get to understand that, okay, I can't have so much of this in my life. I need a little bit more of this. And you can open yourself to maybe having friends that you can have fun with, and friends that will stimulate you intellectually, or relationships that are understanding and compassionate and kind, whereas relationships that push you in a really challenging way to level up. So something is breaking through. But try and find the softness within. you don't have to be soft and empathetic and understanding with people that just, when you do that, it's almost like they bring you more drama, more pain, more chaos. You don't have to do that, but you can allow yourself to use discernment and see, these are the spaces where I can be soft, and sometimes I need more of that, and these are the spaces where I have to be in my masculine energy, and when you need that. It's about learning yourself. At the bottom of the deck here we have Dress of Alchemy, Release Your Power, and I was seeing this in my mind's eye before I did the reading. The bottle she's holding in her hand there, I'm feeling like we are needing to find our own medicine, and that can be different at different times. Like, we are collectively shifting to more natural, holistic ways of healing ourselves with energy healing and eating right and using herbs and using crystals. But say you are super spiritual, there might be a time where you, for some or other reason, end up in hospital, like an accident or something severe, and then you do need the medicine. You can't be so extreme into your spirituality that if you can find ways to deal with a migraine that is not pharmaceutical meds, right? But in certain instances you might need to take a painkiller for your migraine, right? But just make sure that that's not your go-to. That's what you always do. You never deal with your inner stuff, your emotions, your energy, your thoughts, your mindset. But you can use medication. But if you're always using medication, this is another thing that's coming through. You might need to detox at this time. Or if your medication has become toxic, like having a cocktail every now and then when you're out with your friends to relax and just feel good is fine. But if alcohol now becomes your go-to to numb the pain all the time, then you're going to need to detox from that. Somebody might have been sick for a while and needed to take meds, and now you need to go through an inner cleanse, drink more water, sweat it out. Like, I've been feeling like I need to, I want to be in a sauna for some reason, like steam. There's some sort of detoxification that must happen. Also, what's coming through is the third eye. Through our lives, our third eye calcifies and becomes blocked from what we watch, what we hear, what we are fed, the artificial stuff in our food, the stuff in our water, in our toothpaste. You might want to look into that to clear up your third eye. But on her clothing, she's got symbols here, and I feel like the clearer energy becomes, right? Whether that's just eating better, drinking more water, or if you're spending less time watching or interacting with very 3D things and meditating more and praying more and, clearing your energy. And this partly is happening without us having to do anything with the solar flares and the astrological transits. A lot of it is happening without our awareness, but you may need to help your body in some way. And once you start clearing your energy, there are dormant things within your DNA that becomes activated, dormant gifts. And this might be difficult, and you might want to stop the process because you might have negative feelings, negative emotions, negative memories, thoughts that come up. But you need to process it and clear it out. You can't suppress it back down. Once you do that, then what's left is the good things within your body, within your soul, your energy field, within your mind. It makes room for you to also now be able to access new codes that are coming in. And if you are sensitive, you can tell when you're having an activation and you're getting new codes. When you're seeing all those angel numbers, or your ears start ringing, or you start vibrating and your body feels all weird, sometimes you can actually feel your different energy centers, your chakras, like being extremely active. And sometimes you can feel like when it's blocked, like if you have a blocked sacral chakra, you might not be able to eliminate waste. or you have excess weight around your sacral chakra, your waist area, or if your heart chakra is blocked, you can feel that. It can feel like heartache and pain and sadness, or anxiety. You might have a certain body structure that shows which energy centers are blocked and where your chakras are overactive or underactive. Wow, I feel like I was rambling for 20 minutes straight there. Let's see. We're going to use the Light Seers Tarot to just see what else Spirit wants to bring through. I don't even know what to ask right now, but the Light Seers deck and the Oracle of Shadow and Light seem significant. Where are you now? Where are you now? We have the Eight of Cups and the Lovers. Like, this was like this, and I don't actually know how it's supposed to go. Okay, and I feel like it's both, depending on who's watching. You might be in a process of walking away from relationships or things that are unfulfilling to you, that don't make you happy. You're walking towards your Nine of Cups, which is your ultimate wish fulfillment. You might need to do an actual ritual to sort of commemorate or honor the things that you are leaving behind. And some of them are good things, people you love, things you love, but they no longer serve you. You've outgrown it. You've got a new journey. You've got a new calling, a new purpose. And some of them are bad, negative emotional attachments. And that's why, like, I didn't know which way this was supposed to go. Like, the Lovers again is Gemini. You might be walking away from soulmate relationships that were meant to be in your life for a season. And because they are soulmate relationships, they are meaningful to you. And it doesn't have to be bad things. Like, for instance, your children are soulmates. There's a reason why you're their parents. Or your parents are soulmates. There's a reason why. Even if you have a toxic relationship with them, or certain aspects of your relationships is toxic. Say your child is now going off to university, right? You might, or you are leaving your family to go and work abroad or something. It could be something positive like that, and you may need to grieve that. Or it can be negative, like you just can't live with these people anymore. Your whole life you felt out of place in your family, and you were meant to be in their lives and them in your lives for certain activations to happen or certain karma to be worked through, but you actually need to leave. And I feel like you might be walking towards, through soulmates, new soul tribe, whether that's romantic or, just people that you resonate with on a deep soul level, because you might have past lives together, or they are an integral part of the next phase of your journey. That is where you are now. A Sagittarius might also be significant for someone. The Merkaba is also significant. Is there anything else here, Spirit, with these two that needs to come through? Red and these colors are significant. There are certain things that can help us in any point. Like, say you, as a woman, you're on your cycle. It's that time of the month. You might need to eat orange or red fruits to help with that. Or you might need to get into a fiery, passionate energy to sort of fuel you. And then if you wear red or work with red crystals, it might help you. There's something about yellow, orange, and red, your lower chakras. So you're either being activated in your lower chakras, you're becoming more grounded, more creative, more passionate, or they're blocked and you feel ungrounded and you don't feel creative, you don't feel inspired. You might have some, okay, this is very specific for someone. You might have some sexual trauma or just negative sexual thoughts, feelings, like something in your energy field regarding a Sagittarius or Gemini, or I'm hearing Taurus as well. you might deal with Sagittarius, whether that's family or friends or a partner, someone who is very passionate but they don't express it. There's sort of an imbalance here with someone. Like, they might be a very sexual, passionate being, but I don't want to get into this in this reading. I don't know why someone's energy is pushing through here. I'm not going to go there. That's what personal readings are for. If you ever come across a reading, and these are general, and one or two things might hit, or everything might hit. If you're not sure, get a personal reading. And I feel like there are invasive energies and spirits in this world that just try to force themselves through into someone's space. Like, there are people that are consciously and unconsciously predators or energy vampires. Like, they will see your psychic, and suddenly, whether this is a spiritual being that wants to bring a message through you need to ask permission, and you need to come with good intention. They want to bring the message through someone to get to someone else. Or if this is a physical person, they might see that you are kind and gentle or childlike in some way, and there's some dominant part of them that wants to, that is attracted to that light within you, but they also want to assert themselves onto you, if that makes any sense. I don't like this energy and I don't want to do it. No, not right now. Close this reading off for us on a positive note, please. Okay, Spirit is saying recap. Okay. Communication is key. Find creative ways to communicate. Express what's going on in your mind so it doesn't drive you crazy, and what's going on in your emotions. There's something about noticing where people don't want to hear the truth from you, and sometimes speaking up isn't worth it, and sometimes you absolutely have to speak your truth. And even if you can't speak it to them, you can journal, you can speak to God, speak to your angels. You can create art out of it. You can, speak it. Say you've had a really traumatic experience. You can share that with someone, a therapist, or the world in some way, so that in a healing way, so that it can benefit others. And you sharing that heals yourself, and it might heal someone else that's been through it as well. There's a breaking dawn energy. There's change. I'm also hearing pay attention to the weather, like if it's very windy, that's winds of change, or if the sun is out, that's a happy, vibrant energy. Things are clear. If it's cloudy, it might be necessary to stay home or to go within your heart, within your soul, meditate. Pay attention to the weather for some reason. We are meant to work in sync, live in sync, exist in sync with nature, and that's hard to do in a world that pushes us to be productive all the time. We have the King of Cups. Show love. This is someone who's romantic and shows love and affection. Can be a masculine energy, but your own masculine energy. You might need to show yourself a little more love after whatever you've just experienced, or this phase. If you are not someone that is openly affectionate, you need to ask yourself why you have those walls up. Maybe there were many people that you couldn't be openly affectionate with, or it wasn't modeled to you, and you might need to dig a little bit deeper into that. Personal readings help for this. There's so much on the spectrum for so many different people. In a general reading, it's hard to pinpoint things, or you can, but it's not going to be resonant for everyone. My root chakra is just activating from seeing this red. Someone is having a heart awakening, or will be. There's a difference between a spiritual mind awakening and a heart awakening, and one, like, you have one and then the other, either way, right? Like, your mind opens and you see things and understand things that you didn't before, but then you also will get to a point where you feel things that you've never felt before. So that's significant. And you can't keep all of this energy within you. Emotions is energy in motion. Emotions must flow. If you have so much love inside of you and you are a kind, loving person, but you never express that, it's going to cause discomfort, illness, dis-ease, something within your body. And again, I'm being brought to body types. Like if you have a broader upper body and narrower lower body, there's something blocked here, right? Or if you have a wider lower body and a narrower upper body, there's something about your lower chakras that is maybe underactive and your upper chakras are more active. Proportion. There's something about proportions. Get near water, in water. If you can, drink more water. I'm getting that the King of Cups in our history was not maybe celebrated or recognized or appreciated. The King of Cups energy, whether you're a man or a woman, where status and money, being a King of Pentacles, or even an Emperor energy where you are like a ruthless leader or that type of thing, got you somewhere in life. And I feel like being more King of Cups, but not a distorted King of Cups, woe is me, I want to be baby type of energy, but I'm in touch with my emotions and I know how to express it, but I'm also grounded and rooted. And my mind and my heart are in sync. That type of energy is going to come to the forefront now. Page of Pentacles. Small steps being taken, like the beginning of something tangible, or you're either going to get downloads or communication or messages about the first tangible steps to take in something new, a new part of your journey, a new endeavor, a new phase of your life. I feel like you can't skip steps is what I'm getting with something that needs to happen. You can't skip steps. And there might be steps that you want to get there or start there, but you need to start, and you'll know what it is, or if you don't already know, it will become apparent to you. You can't skip steps. Like, for instance, in relationships, you might want to skip to being committed and serious really quickly, even get physically intimate with someone really quickly. You might need to start with doing tangible things together, spending time together. This doesn't have to be relationships, it can be anything. There's a point that you need to start at, and it's not going to be the same for everybody because everybody's in different places. You might already be in a relationship, and the next step is that you should be moving in together. But you're thinking, I want to get married first. It's different for everybody. Like we want to follow the known steps that we all know this is how it's done. But maybe you should be moving in together first and figuring out your lives before you actually get married, whereas other people can get married first and then move in together. There's unique circumstances about everybody's situation where this point where you start at or the first steps you take is different. Okay, I'm going to pull one more Moonology card to close this off. Wow, that was interesting. And then the card goes on the floor. Just a second. The card that dropped was Conclusions Are Within Reach. Full moon, eclipse. I feel like whatever has come up for you in this past time, it's going to become resolved soon. And eclipses are expediting the inevitable. This was inevitable. It's almost like you can't stop it. It has to be resolved now. It's going to be resolved now, with or without your help, without your cooperation, it might just be more uncomfortable or unpleasant for you. If you go along with it and actually take the steps that you are guided to take, it will be better. But it's almost like a gust of wind pushing you forward, like this has to happen. The universe is not just nudging anymore. It's like, okay, you are not moving, we're going to move you. But ultimately, even if the experience or the process to getting there is difficult or painful or easy or pleasant, the outcome is still going to be good. It's still going to work out for the highest good of all. That is the reading. Let me know if it resonates. If you've made it this far, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps to keep this type of thing going. And when you interact with the video, it helps the reader pick up on your energy. And even if you're just lurking, a residue of your energy stays behind. So like the video. Yeah, I hope this was helpful, and join me again in another one.